Alison asked, "Hi, Shifu. Could you explain what does 消业 mean? Can Guanxin Pusa help to 消业? That's why we pray to Guanxin Pusa when we are sick or when we are in deep trouble. Thank you." This is an interesting question. 消业,消业障. So first of all, what is 业? 业 is the Chinese translation for the term karma. But oftentimes when we hear the word 业, sometimes we misconstrue it. Yeah. Strictly speaking, 业 being karma actually refers to our actions. We say 造业,造业, 身语意业, 三种业. So body, speech, and mind, our bodily actions, verbal actions, and mental actions. Yeah. This model is what the Buddha observed. But in the Buddha's time, there were other schools of thought, other religion where they also talk about karma, but they don't necessarily recognize all three types. Yeah. And the way they understand the efficacy of karma is different. So over here, when we say 消业, many times people think of 消业, meaning what you have done in the past, now nullify it so that the results don't happen. Yeah. Oh, can I understand? Yeah. Can you all hear me? Sorry?
Sorry, Sifu, your screen look a bit distorted. I'm not sure. Does the rest also see the same? Because your screen doesn't see the. From my side, I don't see your screen as a full screen.
Oh, let me check. Oh, okay. Actually, because I was testing another webcam yesterday.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, I was testing one of the webcam that they sent over. So, yeah, that other webcam is the triple type. So, super grainy, but open. So, so everybody can see me now? Can. So very quickly, 消业. Most people have the idea that we pray to whether it's Guanxin Pusa or any of the Buddha or Bodhisattvas, that they can actually help to nullify the karma. And then important thing is, what is the result of nullifying the karma? That we don't get the result. 所谓菩萨为因，众生为果. Yeah. Bodhisattvas are fearful of doing wrong things. Sentient beings are afraid of the bad results from doing wrong things. Doing wrong things, no problem. Bad results, don't. Yeah. So the question is, can Guanxin Pusa, or for that matter, any of the Buddhas or Bodhisattvas help to do that? To 消 the 业. 消 literally kind of means to dissolve it. Yeah, to remove it, to resolve it. Dissolve it. So, strictly speaking, they cannot. If they can do that, then it nullifies the first principle of causality. Yeah. It's not that I keep on wanting to bring in first principle of causality, but because all the questions all the questions in a way actually involves wrong view that violates first principles of causality. That's why I have to bring it in. But that being the case, then why are we praying to Guan Musa? Yeah, since he cannot just nullify it, remove the karma. Well, there are a few things that happen here. Yeah. The first thing is that just because you have the karmic seed doesn't mean that you will get the results. You, given the right conditions, you will get the results, but only if there are the right conditions. If there are no conditions, you don't get the results. How do you know that? Inside the Siddha Senbon, it says that. Yeah, inside of the various teachings, it says that. Yeah. Furthermore, another way to understand why that is true, that means only when there are suitable conditions, then you get the results. How can we understand that? Yeah, it's by the principle of causality. How it occurs. So, for example, let me ask you. Are you a human? Say yes. Then, do you have the seeds for other realms? Rightly speaking, we all have, right? But you are now born as a human being. If it is to be said that whenever you have the seed, then you must immediately get the results. You don't need conditions, because if you don't need conditions, then what is stopping it from ripening, right? So the thing that's stopping it from ripening and bearing fruit are the conditions. You need conditions for it to ripen. So the fact that we are born as a human being and not other realms either means that we only have one seed at that point in time of death. And so only one seed can ripen. Yeah. If seeds don't need conditions. And if seeds don't need conditions to ripen and bear fruit, then it means that the seed is only planted at the point of death. Then it means that everything you do before that doesn't count. Yeah, which then kind of like negates everything that the Buddha has observed and taught. Yeah. So all the things we do, just looking at this life, the action plants a seed, so-called plant a seed, but it doesn't immediately ripen. Yeah. At the point of death, then it ripens. In the case of yin ye, so there are also different categories of karma besides the Sen Yu Yi. There are those karma that can induce rebirth. Yeah, induce you to be reborn as a human, induce you to be reborn in the heavenly realm, in the hell realm, in the ghost realm, in the animal realm, or in all the different various. This is called yin ye. Then there is also man ye, man ye, yuan man de man. So yin is to draw you, to induce you. Chai Kwan can understand? Kata? Yeah. Then man ye, yuan man de man, to complete the completion karma. So these two together then forms the whole picture. So the first one, yin ye, induces you to be reborn. Then man ye complete the job. Yeah, and it ripens across your life. Ripens across your life. So to be reborn as a human being is one part. Then how you live your life as a human being, like how much merits you have, then that's mainly the role of or the function of the man ye. Yeah. So we don't get everything all at once. So from here we can see that by principle, because of that, we can say, okay, seeds don't ripen all at once. So they need conditions. Then in the Mahana Sangraha, it states, 阿拉耶是为种子虚妄分别所依. Yeah, so the Alaya consciousness contains the seeds. Yeah, so it serves as a seed repository then to ripen. But for it to ripen, you need what? 虚妄分别所依. Yeah. So you still need the discriminating mind to ripen it. Yeah. So that is one of the key components that triggers the ripening of seeds. Yeah. When I learn up to this point, and then there's another part in the Mahayana Sangraha which talk about how Arahants, when they attain Arahanthood, the seeds wipe out. But when they say wipe out, what do they mean? They use the analogy of the field of seeds. That means our Xingtian, the field with a lot of seeds. Then when the Arahant, when the person attains Arahanthood, then the seeds are like being burnt by fire. Yeah. So the seeds are still there, but no longer effective. Because once it's burnt, using modern terms, you say it become cooked. Yeah. And once it's cooked, the germination efficacy is lost. Yeah. But what is actually lost? The fire represents the wisdom, and it removes the efficacy because it removes the 虚妄分别. Yeah. When we say wisdom removes 虚妄分别, it's actually once there's wisdom, you see things clearly, then 虚妄分别 doesn't arise anymore. Your falsehood discriminating perception doesn't arise anymore. And because that doesn't arise, even though there's a seed there, you no longer induce it. You no longer resonate with it, connect with it. Yeah. In a way that actually cause it to germinate, cause it to ripen, cause it to grow. Yeah. So all this together then gives us a more comprehensive understanding how Guan Yin Pusa can possibly help us 消业. They cannot just pluck out the seeds and then don't worry, settle already. Yeah. What they can do is they teach us how to not connect with those seeds. And that's why all the teachings of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas ultimately is always to guide us towards wholesomeness, first and foremost. Yeah. Then ultimately to teach us how to purify this stupid mind. Because once it's completely purified, then we don't connect with those seeds. Yeah. We no longer connect with greed, hatred, delusion. Then we stop germinating them. We stop nourishing them. We stop inducing them to ripen. It is in this way that we are able to so-called 消业. So in this way, we can say there's 自利 and 他利, right? 自利 and 他利. So 自利 and 他利 meaning there's the effort from outside and then effort from the Buddha side also. But Buddha side, when you say 他利, actually not that Buddha just pluck out, again, highlight, not that he just pluck out the seed and destroy it, but the Buddha Bodhisattvas, their contribution is guiding us, teaching us, encouraging us, yeah, showing us how to purify ourselves. Then our side, we must still do the work, purify ourselves. Yeah. As long as we don't purify ourselves, we are still in that same condition. Yeah. So that's why we pray to Guan Yin Pusa when we are sick. Yeah, in a way. So does it mean that when we are sick, it's always due to karma? Not always. Yeah. It can be because of 4 elements, the imbalance in the 4 elements. Enough imbalance, then you fall sick. Yeah. Minor imbalance, you don't really fall sick. Yeah. My teacher in the Guan Yin Pusa Pumenping, he shared this. All of us pray to Guan Yin Pusa, but how come some get the wishes fulfilled, some don't get it? Yeah, so he says, Guan Yin Pusa use his wisdom to look at us. Yeah, if the Guan Yin Pusa fulfill our wishes, will it lead to an arising of greed, hatred, and delusion? If it does, then he won't help us. If it helps us progress in our wholesome deeds, help us progress in our cultivation, then he will help us. Yeah. But even when we so-called help us, we still need to have that kind of merits. Yeah. You cannot just out of nothing just oh. Yeah. So yeah, in the Guanxin Pusa, the what is that? 大慈大悲观世音菩萨的陀罗尼经 yeah, in the sutra that talk about 大悲咒, Buddha, the Guanxin Pusa's promise. Whoever is in danger, you just call his name, he will come to your rescue. Yeah. If we have never been in danger, it's always a question about how is it possible? But if we ever been in danger and we call up to him and he really helped you, then it's hard for you to refute it also. To me, it's more dangerous if you get the help than if you don't get the help. Because if you get the help, then you may have the wrong view that Guanxin Pusa is like God in other religion. Yeah, you just pray the Buddha, the Guanxin Pusa will just come and solve everything for you. Yeah, that Guanxin Pusa is almighty, but he never make this claim. At least when we go by the sutra, various teachers, various venerables may make such a claim, or may interpret the text in a certain way. But you must always remember, if any text claim that anyone, whether it's Buddha, Bodhisattvas, or anybody, is all-powerful, and by all-powerful, it means the person is able to solely decide for something to happen or not happen. That's the very definition of all-powerful. Without external conditions, not requiring any other conditions except that being decide, let it be so, and it is so. If there's ever such a text, then again, that violates the first principle of causality, of conditionality. Yeah. But we may also ask, like, why can't that be true? Well, if it's true, then you have to throw out all other teachings on causality, on conditionality. Basically, the rest of the Buddha's teaching. Then basically you are saying you believe in a created God, or you don't have to call it God. You would believe in an all-powerful being, and you don't believe, or you don't subscribe to the Buddha's teaching anymore. You're no longer a Buddha disciple. Yeah. But the trouble sometimes is, in some tradition, I don't say which tradition now, in some traditions, we have this strong sense of allegiance, yeah, towards our ancestors, towards our 祖师, towards our forefathers. So if one forefather 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago, happened to say something that is that violates first principles, the subsequent generation either don't talk about it or don't dare to say that maybe he got it wrong. Yeah. To me, this is a trouble with legacy. This is a trouble of lineages. Lineages is good because it helps to preserve a certain understanding of the path. It helps us to have credible sources of teachings and understanding and so on. But when we take the lineage or to become an immutable fact, yeah, in the face of opposing evidence, then we become dogmatic. Yeah, then it becomes dogma, where it means this has been said by a master 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago, that means it must be truth. That's why While I don't I have my reservation about certain aspects of Tibetan. I mentioned in the Thursday class, but and it's just a certain particular text, or rather a certain particular teacher Rinpoche's explanation of certain parts. Okay, not necessarily of the text itself. But I have very deep respect for the Dalai Lama. Actually, last time I also don't know who he is. So I only know that a lot of people respect him, but I don't really think much about him. Maybe I'm a very ego person, maybe. But one comment from him really changed how I look at him, which is during a science conference in US, I think. During the conference, one of the scientists asked him, discoveries are being made, experimentation are being made by scientists. What if one day scientists discover something that contradicts what the sutras say, what the teachings say? And then his response was most amazing. His response was, well, if that's the case, then we have to go back to a sutra and examine it and see what needs to be changed, needs to be corrected. And I thought that was so beautiful. Yeah. It's not a private conversation in the cafe, then just coffee talk, Then after I say, hey, by the way, don't tell people. He tell it in the open conference with a lot of attendees. That was way before COVID. I think many years back. Yeah. And that statement is just open, Yeah. Because if he were to say, oh no, it must be the science that got it wrong, then it means that if he were to say otherwise, then it means that he's dogmatically holding on to the teachings. Yeah. Because then it violates what the Buddha has taught. Because the Buddha said you must examine the teachings. Yeah. Because that's the only way that you can ensure that even after being passed down through generations, you can still get it right. Because only if you get it right, as in what you observe is in line with reality, then can you get enlightened. Not that what you know or what you understand is in line with the text. Only if the text is in line with reality and you verify your understanding and knowledge of the text that is in line with reality, then you can get enlightened. Not simply because you follow the text, then much less or only because you follow the tradition. Well, because 祖师师公这样子讲，第七代祖师这样子讲 yeah, or the 7th generation master said this, so I follow that one. So that's how I say that I'm enlightened. Cannot. Yeah. Yeah, but the trouble is, I actually a lot of trouble. Yeah. Ultimately, there's only one thing we need to do. Don't take my word for it also. Yeah. Don't take my word for it. Go and verify it. Yeah. To the extent you verify it, to the extent you have confidence in it. Yeah. And even if all the masters in Singapore, in the whole world say otherwise, if you have verified, you have verified. You know it. You know that is the truth. Yeah. And what is the truth? That the important thing, because a lot of people have a lot of interesting experiences during meditation also. They also could feel that they verified it. The important thing is, in Buddhism, verification of truth leads to non-attachment, leads to non-clinging, leads to liberation. But you notice a lot of people, when they talk about their experience, it leads to more clinging. So you can tell that kind of experience is not helping them. Yeah. 哦，阿弥陀佛。愿消三障诸烦恼，
愿消三障诸烦恼，
愿得智慧真明了，
愿得智慧真明了，
不愿罪障悉消除，
不愿罪障悉消除，
世世常行菩萨道。
世世常行菩萨道。
阿弥陀佛。
阿弥陀佛。
Till we meet again, may be guided and protected by the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And as always,
乖乖。
actually, I realized that yesterday I didn't explicitly give you all the exercise. Yeah. Can you remember the takeaway from yesterday? Can you remember? 忘记喽。 Can you remember yesterday's sharing?
Is it about being guest free?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So and from before the guest free, so Marcel remember correctly, and then very good. And then before that was talking about gossip. Yeah. So this week, I was thinking, should I let you all do the exercise on right speech for the whole week, or just non-gossip for the whole week? Yeah, because non-gossip seems like too specific for the whole week, but then right speech seems very broad. Yeah. Never mind. Maybe try doing non-gossip and frivolous speech for the one whole week. Try, okay? All right. Take care. Stay safe, and have a zip day ahead. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you, Shifu.
Thank you, Shifu. Bye.
Yes.